Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me once again. I'm your host, Derek Lane. Another edition of the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. Let's delve into this week's topic, which is change. And why is change important? How does it benefit you? Why must you be open to it? Look, if you've been going about your business every day and everything's going good, that's fine, that's great. But as we learn and evolve, I don't think there's anyone out there that doesn't want to evolve to be better than the version of themselves they are right now. To be just a little bit better, tweak this, adjust that. Then there's people out there that really want major changes. Maybe you're behind on bills, maybe you're just not getting ahead in life like you feel like you should and you deserve. And we all deserve a good life. So that's why I say change is important. You've got to change in every aspect occasionally. Sometimes it's your wardrobe. Sometimes it's the car you drive. Heck, some people change where they live. That's okay. If you want to live in Hawaii and Maine right now, that's a big change. But it's okay. Sometimes change is necessary. But more importantly than that, I think, is the change that should come from within, between your ears. I would ask you to look at yourself, and you know me, I'm a big proponent of pen and paper. I would write down everything that you can think of about yourself right now, where you're at, and your thinking, and how you got where you are right now, and what you're going to do something different. Think about one thing, just one thing, that you can do differently, that you feel like you should do differently, but you've just not brought yourself to that point of change. And change can be slow, it can be fast. It's up to you. But critical thinking, the way that you process. I had a friend that would, anytime something bad would happen, he was, oh my gosh, it never fails. It never fails. It always works out that way for me. And I told him, I said, with that thinking, it's always going to work out that way. When you anticipate the negative outcomes from any action, you're setting yourself up for more negative outcomes. And I told him to just try it, because belief systems and the way that you think are ingrained because you've been doing it over and over and over and over. That's just the way that you do it. But if you make a conscious effort to think about how you would change. And so I told him that you should embrace everything as an opportunity. And he said, even the bad stuff? How's that an opportunity? Well, it's an opportunity not to do it and repeat it again. Embrace everything as a learning experience. Take the model of Edison that says, I didn't fail, 900 times. I learned how not to invent something 900 ways. So if you take every opportunity as a learning moment, an opportunity to understand why and how you got the outcome, and you can change it and get a different outcome. And that's going to start with your thinking. That's going to start with the mindset of who you are and your past promises to yourself, that you can come in with a new understanding of who you are. And I think that it was, I think it's a Shakespearean quote, assume the virtue if you haven't. Assume the virtue if you haven't. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means act as if. In your mind, be the person that you see yourself. Be the person that you want to become. Just go ahead and start being that person. Don't wait for it to change. You got to change. It's not going to just happen by a magic wand or a potion. It all starts with your internal dialogue to yourself. How you're going to process information. And you change the way that you process that information from the way that you used to the way that you will do it now, because you've made a promise to yourself to make that change. You've made a promise to yourself to change the process of thinking and understand that every situation does have a silver lining. And then there's the situations that have good outcomes, and people sabotage those. Good things happen, and they can't believe it. I'm not deserving of it. I don't deserve this good stuff. So you self-sabotage. And then that way I can go back to going, well, see, I told you, nothing ever works out for me. You got to change that mentality, that mindset, that nothing ever works out for me, to one of everything works out for me. It may not be the exact way that it works out or that I wanted it to work out. And that's when we go and we understand why it worked out the way it is and work on the way that we imagine that it should, that we want it to. But it's all in the acceptance, all in the expectations. There's a world in which you live in that offers you everything that you want. You have to understand how to get it, how to let it happen. Sometimes mental effort defeats itself. Sometimes pushing against the grain is not the way to do it. Put it out there in the ethosphere and allow your mind to accept all of the things that you want for yourself. Treat everyone around you as if you're here to help them. Give free advice, as long as it's good advice. Read, learn, grow as a human being. Take every opportunity of every day. Every day is an opportunity that you're not going to get back. This moment is not going to recreate itself. Enjoy the moment, but do it with a renewed vigor of I am, I have, not I wish, I want. I am, I have. Be the person that you envision yourself to be. Don't wait. We've talked about that, about waiting for something good to happen. Well, I'll be the person that I want to be once I drop 15 pounds. No, be that person today. If your goal is to lose weight, well, don't wait until the new year. Don't wait until your birthday. Don't wait until the 4th of July. Don't wait. Just do it. Just do it. Just start new habits. Create new habits. And with that, I'm not just talking about physical habits. I'm talking about the mental habits. Again, going back to change. Your thinking is a habit. Your thinking is a habit, a process that you're accustomed to, and that's the way you've been working. But nothing's going to change until you do. You may have fleeting moments of success, but until you accept it as a way of life, that you deserve it, you expect it, I am, I have, nothing's going to change. Nothing permanent is going to change until you understand the value of yourself and the many things that you can do. You can do anything you want, within reason. If you're not trained or experienced at something that requires a certain skill set, you can't just automatically do it. But you can learn to. You can learn to do it. You can get help from people that have those skills and abilities. If you want to play music, you're just not going to sit down at a piano and start playing a concerto. But you can learn to do that. If you want to bench press 200 pounds and you can barely pick up a coffee mug, well, you can learn to. You can train. And that's what I'm talking about overall. We train our minds. You train your mind on a new set of rules, a new way of thinking, a positive outlook. Take what life has given you to this point and build upon it. Not asking you to throw anything away, except for negative thoughts. But you've got the ability. The fact that you're listening to this podcast and others like it tells me that you're already in motion to change the way that you think. When you're able to listen to people with solid ideas and fundamental principles of life, you can make those changes. You can and you will. Just make sure that they're congruent with your overall desires, right? You're not sending mixed signals. You're not being a hypocrite. And yes, people can be mental hypocrites. You can state that I want something, but then go out and do something totally to contrast that. So don't be a hypocrite. Follow up on the actions that follow your journey that you've set out. And it is a journey. It's a wonderful journey. You find things along the way that make you happy, make others happy. You contribute, you give to life. So I would just tell you to think about the different aspects of your life, the things that you can change, the mental outlook that you have, and how you can adapt a more positive flow in your life. Reach out to the ethosphere and allow the positivity to overwhelm you. All right. Well, listen, that should be enough for this week. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you tuning in and checking out the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. We've been experimenting with a few things and kind of let a few podcast sessions go just for various reasons. But trust me, we're eager to tackle new subjects and continue this weekly podcast. And I appreciate the listenership. If you want to reach out to me, please do so via email, Derek@FastlanePodcast.com. Derek@FastlanePodcast.com. You can listen to me on various outlets, iHeart, Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, wherever. They're all out there. Spotify. If you feel like someone would benefit from the message, not only from this but other podcasts in this series, please share. Only leave positive comments. If you have a critique, you can send them to me. It's okay. But make sure that you share this podcast with other folks that can benefit from it. Even if it's just a small, minute thing, you'll never know that you can make a difference in someone's life just by sharing a positive message from this podcast or other podcasts like it that matter to you. Because if it meant something to you and you liked it, chances are it's going to mean something to someone close to you or just an acquaintance. But with that, I appreciate your time, and we will have another discussion next week and move forward on our journey. Thank you so much for listening.